Have you ever had an eyeshadow look end up like this? Patchy, unblended, and no matter how many times you go back and forth between shadows, you just still can't get that perfect blend. Well, this is the video for you. I'm going to share with you what not to do, and hopefully that will help you identify maybe some mistakes that you are making along the way. And this is going to be super easy to follow along. So whether you are a beginner at makeup or a pro, but you still struggle getting that perfect blend, hopefully you find this helpful. If you're new here, I hope you will consider subscribing. Now let's get started. Now, the first thing that I did is I just applied concealer and I did nothing else before going in straight with my eyeshadow. So concealer is something you see a lot of people use to cancel out the veins. I have a lot of veins on my eyelid. And in order to use a concealer though, you need to set it with powder. And if you're an oily eyelid girl like I am, you're also gonna need to add an eyeshadow primer. Normally, I just go in with a good old eyeshadow primer because then I don't have to set it. So I'm going to show you that because I think if you're a beginner, the less steps necessary, the better. So I'm just using the Ulta Beauty Matte Veil Eyeshadow Primer, and this is a one and done step. So instead of having to go in with a concealer and then an eyeshadow primer on top and then a setting powder, all you need is a good eyeshadow primer. And the good thing about this one is it has a little bit of just some sheer coverage. So it's not going to totally cancel out your veins. So if you need to totally cancel out, you're going to go ahead and do the concealer, but make sure you at least set it with a setting powder first and then go in with eyeshadow. So I'm just going to keep this simple though and do a one-step lid prep. And now I know that my eyeshadow is not going to go anywhere. Now the next step that is super important is to let that eyeshadow primer completely set and dry down. You will know when it is set. It should not still be tacky. If it is still tacky, you need to let it sit for a little bit longer. So while it continues to dry down, I'll share with you the brushes and I'll show you the eyeshadow palette I'm using. So the brushes today I'm going to be using are from BK Beauty. So I will show you the wrong ones to use and the right ones to use, but all from the same brand. But I'll also give you some alternatives from Rougher and Buzzy Beauty. There's also great ones that match from Sigma. So depending on what brush brand you already have or you're interested in purchasing, it will help you shop. For the eyeshadow palette today, I am using my True Beauty palette. This was my collaboration with Dalton. And the reason why I am choosing this one, not only because I love it and use it almost every day in my daily life, but because I think this is a very user-friendly palette and it has all of the shades that we need to create a super blended look. I'll explain in a moment. So let's check our eyeshadow. Our eyeshadow primer is now completely set down. So the next thing that I did wrong over here, I started with too dark of a shade and the wrong brush. So I picked up this bullet brush. This is the 207 from BK Beauty. And you can see how short these bristles are. I mean, they're kind of fluffy, but they don't move too much and they're pretty dense. And I went in with this dark shade right here because we want a dark outer corner, right? I'm sure you've seen me talk about that. You've seen it a lot. But what happens on this is it distributes a ton of product and it is not going to blend it out. Do you see how patchy it is? Then I tried to fix it by going in with a crease shade, which is this one right here. And this is the proper shade for the crease, but because I had already gotten this patchy and I'm still using the wrong brush, also you can see on the demo, I am holding my brush really close to the brush tip itself. And what that does is it applies a super concentrated amount of product. Then I thought, well, I'll erase that and I'll go in with a brow bone highlight, right? Because we need a brow bone highlight. So I went in with this matte shade and I used my favorite Sigma E50 brush, but because the damage was already done, I could not get that blended out. So let me show you a completely different way to apply. Now, I learned this technique several years ago watching a young makeup artist and it was a game changer for me. And when I watch other tutorials, I still see most people starting in the crease of the eye with their crease color. But the game-changing tip for me was to actually start at the brow bone highlight first, because this gives you something to blend your crease color into. So therefore, you're not having to go back and erase that crease color if you get it too high. So let me show you using the E50. We're going to go in with that brow bone highlight shade. You always want to tap off your brush, and I'm going right under the brow. Now you want to make sure, depending on how big or small your eyes are, you don't want this color to come all the way down. If you have hooded eyes, it's going to be very important to make sure we blend our crease color up high enough. But for now, you want to put a decent amount of that brow bone highlight shade all under the brow. And I am stopping above my crease, so right here, okay? But I am going to next, with my crease color, go above where I stopped with that. So the next very important tip is you need to choose a crease blending brush. So as opposed to a super dense, short bristle brush like this, a similar one would be like this one from Rougher. I mean, it's round, it's, kind of flexible, but these are the wrong kind of brush in order to get a diffused look in the crease. So you want to choose something like this one from BK Beauty. This is the A503 or the 201. This one's just a little flatter on the top, but you can see there's give in the bristles, and that is going to help you get a much softer blend. From Rougher, the 15 Max is one of my top favorites for blending. I'll just kind of show it compared to that one. And then also from Buzzy Beauty, the 911 brush is a great one. This one's a little bit skinnier, but still gives a really great blend. So we are gonna take that wonderful soft blending brush, and we're gonna go in with the next darkest shade. So we started off with the lightest one at the brow. We're going to move into the crease. And from here in this palette, you could choose any of these 3 shadows right here, and that's going to be the perfect color for the crease. You don't want to go straight in with this color. We'll get there eventually, but we're going to start off first with a lighter one. So I'm just going to go in with the same color that I used on my left eye. And where you first place your brush, that is where the most eyeshadow pigment is going to be deposited. So you want to always start on the outer corner and then blend in. And you hear people say windshield wiper motions. Yes, if that helps you kind of know, you're just going back and forth. And you can see I'm letting the brush do the work for me. And you can also see where I am holding the brush. I am not up here, because even if I were using the proper brush and I'm holding it up here, it's still going to scrub that color into the eye, and it's not going to be a good blend. So hold your brush lower down. I mean, I wouldn't go all the way down here because you still want a little control, but you also just hold it lightly. Let the brush just do the work for you. Move it back and forth. It's very relaxing, very therapeutic. Give your eye a little massage. And you can see I went in the crease and then blended up towards the brow bone. And I mean, just that. Do you see how softly that is blended and how it has a natural gradation into the crease? Because we didn't bring that brow bone highlight shade all the way to the crease, it automatically created this wonderful gradation of color. So you can build it up as much as you want. I'm going to build up a little more here in the outer corner. And again, if you have hooded eyes, you want to make sure that you look straight ahead directly into a mirror. I have to lower my chin just a little bit. And you want to make sure that you can see that color. If you're still seeing just the brow bone highlight shade, then you need to bring that color up just a little more, but just lightly, just light strokes back and forth, back and forth. And then you can swirl it in the outer corner and you can bring it down closer to the lash line. Now, we're going to go in with our deeper shade. Now this is where I'm going to actually switch down to a slightly smaller but still fluffy brush, because I think this is so much easier. This is the BK Beauty 206. So you can see it's flat and it has a little bit of a dome on it. A similar brush is the number 1 brush from Rougher. And then the Buzzy Beauty, she's got 2 brushes that will work similarly. This is the 912, and then the straight one is 910. So you can see they all have a little bit of fluff, but they're much more precise. So because we're going in with a darker shade, I don't want this to end up everywhere, but I still want it to look diffused. So I'm just gonna tap the tip of my brush, and this is where the shape of this brush helps. Tap off the excess. And again, the place that you place your brush is going to deposit the most eyeshadow. So I'm gonna start at the lash line, and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. And then as I get to the crease, do some swirl motions up. And there we go. You can go back in. And the key is do a little amount and just slowly build. If you go in with too much eyeshadow all at once, it can be a little overwhelming and it can make the blending a little harder. But because we already have that crease color in there, again, just like the brow bone, this is allowing this darker shade to have something to blend into. So you can see how soft and blended that looks. And we can continue to add more if we want more. And again, I'm just tapping that darker shade in at the lash line. And then as I get up to the crease, I'm using the tip of that brush to blend. And then we go backwards through our brushes. We go back to our crease brush, and you usually don't have to add any more color, and just use that to further blend the edge of that eyeshadow. Now, on the lid, I'm gonna go ahead and put something on the lid on this eye. I didn't over here, but you know me, I like a little shimmer, a little sparkle, so let's do that today. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I haven't been giving you the names of these, but this shade is Loving, and we used Faithful in the crease, and then we used Temperate in the outer corner, and then right at the brow bone was the shade Good. So I'm just tapping that on just to give myself a little bit of glow here on the lid, nothing crazy. Now, if you don't want the shimmer, you can easily go in with the brow bone highlight shade like this one. And that is a beautiful brightening kind of inner lid type of shade as well. I have a couple of looks using that. But right there, we have the shimmer, and you can see it has a really nice fade right into that outer corner because we just built that color up slowly on the outer corner. So there we go. Which one would you choose? This one or this one? So now all that's left is to add our eyeliner and mascara. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll come back for a few final thoughts. All right, we are back, and through the miracle of editing, both eyes are now fixed, and you can just see a nice soft gradation of color from dark to a mid-tone brown up to that cream shade in the brow. There's no patchiness, there's no unblended look, it's just seamless. So I hope that the techniques that I shared with you today were very helpful. Just to recap, the first thing that's really important is the base that you're using to build your eyeshadow look from. If you're gonna use a concealer as your base, make sure you're going in with a little bit of setting powder first before adding your eyeshadow. The next thing is make sure you start with a little brow bone highlight with your eyeshadow just to give yourself something to blend into. And as far as what shade to choose for your brow bone highlight shade, I always like to go 1, maybe 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. So this is about as bright as I like to go in the summertime. I might actually add a little bit of that tan shade in with the cream from this palette. So depending on how deep of a skin tone you are, this might be a brow bone highlight shade for you, or you can mix a combination of those two to get the proper shade. So 1 to 2 shades lighter, and then go into the crease with 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin tone. Don't go too dark. Don't start with a dark one like this, and make sure you are using the proper brush through the crease, something nice and fluffy, hold that brush towards the end of the handle, allow the brush to do the work for you, and hopefully those tips will really help. Now, as always, you can check the description box down below, click where it says more over here, and then more again, and you will see a list of everything that I used today, the brushes. I'll also list the alternative brushes that I mentioned. I'll leave a link to my Doll 10 palette if you are interested in purchasing a fun but very everyday appropriate palette. I think you'll really like it. Thank you in advance if you do purchase it. I appreciate your support. And then I'll also list the other things that I finished out my makeup look with today. The blush, my lip combo, which I am loving, kind of goes with my nails. I'll tell you what's on my nails. All of that information will be listed down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it at all helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.